Alright, I want to talk about grid systems. We're going to go over first the basic points in any grid system. Think of these as like dots in space, and also dots on your body. They're kind of dots in space that you align your body against. So the basic dots, or points as I call them, there's one right here at your wrist, one right here at your elbow, one at your shoulder, one at your opposing shoulder, your opposing elbow, and your opposing wrist. Think of that as a line of symmetry. If you'll notice, there's one point at each joint across this line. All right? Now, if you raise your hands up here, you have those same points, but one level higher. So you have still a point at your wrists, and now if I were to take my elbow, shift it over here, you would have the point at your elbow and the point at your wrist again, and then a point at your other wrist. So those same points right up here over the top. And now if you flip your forearms this way, you have those same exact points going across this line. So think of this line and then shift it down to your waist and also shift it up slightly above your head. Those are the basic points. I believe there's 24 of them that we're going to be talking about. This is the basic grid, the waist up grid, if you will. So they're all points, and now what can you do with those points? Well, there's two main grids that I've been working on, that other people have been working on, that I want to explain, and it's the straight line grid and the curved line grid. All of these grids are based off of a line system. So you take these points and you kind of connect the dots in any way you want. And the way we're going to be talking about is connecting them through straight lines and connecting them through curved lines. So if we take our grid system right here, basic, we'll talk about straight lines first. So the straight line grid, you may recognize this from tutting, although it has a lot of applications. You have your dots, your main points across this line of symmetry, if you will. And then if you were to extend a forearm upward, you would hit one of those points with your wrist on the line up here. If you were to flip this arm over here, you would still be locked into those points, one at your wrist and one in your elbow. You can flip this any way you want. It would be a part of a smaller grid system that we'll go over later. And then the same with this. If you would flip this up, flip this here, flip this here, flip it here, you're always aligning your joints with those points in the grid system. If you were here, you would have one lined up here, one lined up here, one lined up here. So you're always locked into that grid system. You don't have to be, it's just a starting place. That's why we're going with it, starting for grid systems. So that would be the square, the straight line grid system.